What do you make of LeBron confronting you in the aftermath of that situation?
I thought it was weak. I thought it was some bullshit. But in the moment, I knew that I was listening to a father.
All right. Welcome back to the Watch and Learn Hoops Academy. It's Hugo Black here, and we got a good show today. Today, we're going to talk about the LeBron and Stephen A. incident. Now, by now, you should have seen, it's been all over the news. LeBron confronted Stephen A. Smith in the middle of a game. This was not at the end of the game like a lot of people think. This was in the third quarter, going into the fourth. LeBron hops about the timeout, walks Stephen A. Smith, tells him, stop messing with his son, Bronny. Stephen A. has already addressed this on First Take, where basically he was saying, that wasn't a basketball player talking to me. That was a parent. He understood LeBron's approach. But then more footage came out of LeBron James and Richard Jefferson kind of laughing and joking about the situation. And LeBron is saying, like, look, once he said he's pleading with me as a father, that was it. That was it for me. So Stephen A. Smith addressed that point on his podcast, saying, okay, so this really is about you. It had nothing to do with your son. And now he's over on Gil's Arena, and they're talking about the same thing. He's going into further detail about it. So we're going to listen to what he's saying. We're going to break it down, and we're going to see what side we agree with.
And he's right here in my face. He said, yo, you got to stop talking shit about my son. You got to stop fucking with my son. That's my son. That's my son. And I was like, what? He said, nah, fuck that. I said, yo, let's talk later. He's like, fuck that. Nah, fuck that. You got to stop fucking with my son. And I said, all right, though. And he walked off. I remember during a timeout in the first quarter, seeing Bronny. And Bronny looked over at me. And he had this sad look on his face. And I'm imagining Pop saw that shit. It hit him. And he couldn't hold it. And he rolled up on me.
Now, I will say this. If that's true, which it probably is. That probably, I don't have no kids, but I know if that was a family member of mine, my nephew, my niece, my sister, like anybody in my family, somebody walks in the room and I look at their energy shift and it's somebody that I know been talking about them, I'm going to be honest, I'm going to have to go over there and talk to you, bro. I'm going to have to come see what's up. I don't care if it's between the timeout. I don't care. Especially since his son is sitting right next to him. He's trying to work. And he can't work because, you know, he should be able. That's one thing. He is a professional athlete. He knows who he is. He is Bronny James. He's the son of LeBron James. You should be able to deal, or you have to be able to deal with sports journalists. But LeBron being who he is, if he looks over and his son is all of a sudden in a super bad mood because somebody been talking about him crazy on the internet. And for Stephen A. Smith, it's not just the internet, but all over TV, it's on the radio, it's you open up Instagram, Stephen A. Smith talking about you and your son. You see how it affects Bronny. That might charge you up to go do what he did. That might charge you up to, you know, maybe I was gonna handle it one way, but now I got the battery in my back. We're gonna handle this right now. So I can understand that. That sounds like that probably was a major factor to Bron walking over there, but we'll see. Let's see what else he has to talk about.
What happened was, this man was the one that said, you want me, draft him. I'll come play anywhere he's at. It ain't even about the money. This man is the one who said he's better than some of the NBA players are right now when he was in high school.
He did say that.
If you go back and look at the tape, back then I said, stop. You can't do this. If you do that shit, you're bringing more pressure on your son. LeBron, stop. I said it then. This is before he got drafted. Stop doing this. He goes to USC. He got the heart ailment. I'm like, thank God he's okay. He gonna be all right. But I'm not gonna go see him at USC, just like I didn't go see him at Sierra Canyon, because like I ain't see Melo's son. I heard your son is all world. I ain't see him. Your son, I never saw these guys until they came pro, because I know. No.
So far, he's spitting facts. I'm with them so far. And it's like, you know, when you see this stuff, sometimes you forget all the things LeBron has actually done to like kind of build up to the situation. I first looked at it and I'm like, all right, Stephen A. got to chill. Y'all talk about Bronny like he's an all-star. That's how much he's on TV sometimes. It's like breaking down his stats, just doing a bunch of things you would never do for a second-round draft pick. But then you do have to remember, like, it's more than him being Bron's son. Bron really did come out and say, hey, bro, he's better than dudes in the league right now. Which, I mean, if you look in the G League, there were some people who were in the league who are now in the G League. He's playing better than. I understand that, right? But when you come out and say that, obviously the public is going to think you're talking about some of the good players in the league, not the 12 men, the people we don't know whose name they are. Sure, okay, he might actually be better than the 15th man on every team. That may be true. But it's like he did also come out and say, if you want me, draft my son. I just want to play with my son. That's my dream, is to play with my son. So when you do that and then your son gets drafted, you can't necessarily get mad at people for talking about him and looking at his gameplay when you built it up and you made it seem like he was more than he was. But I understand both sides. I understand he went to USC and had the cardiac arrest, and that might speed things up a little bit. Instead of saying, all right, I'm going to play with my son probably in a couple of years. No, if we have the opportunity, he's going to be on my team next year. Because in that moment, you probably feel like, I don't know if there's a year after that. Those are real things. I don't know if anybody's ever experienced themselves or knows somebody who experienced like a near-death situation, but it changes your whole entire outlook on life. I can only imagine how it feels as a father for your son to go through a near-death experience, especially if you're somebody who's been so successful that you're not even really around your family like that. So if you have the opportunity to, all right, I'm going to keep him close. I'm not mad at anybody for doing that, but I also can't be mad at anybody who wants to critique his game. I just feel like it's a little overboard sometimes. But let's listen to what else he has to say.
I know that because of who I am and what I've established for myself in this industry, if I walk into an arena, everybody is looking for me to critique that person. And I don't want to do that because they want to come up. I'm not covering college, I'm covering pro.
And they kids.
Huh? And they kids. Well, I'm saying, but if I was a college reporter, then I would have had to, but I wasn't. So why am I gonna be there? I didn't want to put that extra pressure. So I never went. I went on national television and announced to the world, I'm not going to see him. He goes to USC, I'm not gonna see him. It's too much. It's too much. And then now he's got to overcome this heart ailment, so I can't judge him. But then they said, oh, he going pro. So then once you say he's going pro, okay, you're talking to the scouts and the evaluators and everybody else. Yo, man, this is them. He'll be lucky to be a second-round pick. He'll be lucky. He ain't ready, blah, blah.
Now, I will say this. I think that's love that he tries to give so many people grace like that. He don't want to talk about young people like that. There are a lot of people who cover all type of sports, right? I feel like I like the mindset that you don't necessarily want to talk down on college players, especially if your job isn't to cover college sports. I feel like a lot of people like judging people at 18, even though what is Bronny, 19, 20? Judging people who aren't professionals, it's not necessary. But like once you decide, all right, I'm going to be pro, I'm going to enter my name in the draft, then you open yourself up to other criticisms, right? So I get that part. I like the part that he doesn't talk down on people who are in high school. You know what I mean? I'm going to see if you get to the pro, I'm going to see you, and that's when I'm going to cover you. I think that's dope. I wonder if he would keep that same attitude and mindset if there was a high school player like LeBron James. Remember how much hype LeBron had as a high school player? If there was another one of them, I'm sure he may not have a choice to talk about them. I just don't know if he would be super critical. But, you know, I think that part of him saying, like, all right, he don't even be trying to talk down on kids like that. I like that part. I like that.
Blah, blah. And I'm like, I ain't seen him, y'all. I haven't seen him. Then all of a sudden, Rich Paul and others at Clutch, and then the story headlines follow. Boston might be interested, Golden State might be interested, Phoenix might be interested, Clippers might be. You start hearing all of this, and you're like, this could be true, or this could be them wielding their magic to make it look such a way. I say nothing. He gets drafted by the Lakers, which everybody knew was going to happen because, the skids were greased, and he gets drafted. I still say nothing. He goes into the pro. It's opening night. Now remember, Most cats talk about the league. I cover it. What I mean by that is that you can give your opinion. You might not be on the phone with the commissioner. You might not be on the phone with the executive VP. You might not be on the phone with other people that work in these offices. I am. So because of that, I'm hearing all of this. Yeah, we just gonna go along with it. Open the night I'm talking about. Open the night. Him, Bron. We just gonna go along with it. Or you hearing the Lakers are just going along with it. You're hearing this stuff. Now, I'm not saying they told me that, meaning the commissioner or Jeannie Buss, but I'm saying you're hearing that from those organizations. So I'm getting all of this. One of those cats standing up.
Staples Center.
Ken Griffey, Senior and Junior, who all-stars, Hall of Famer, and Ken Griffey Jr.'s guys, they got them there. And again, I've been covering it for 30 years, not NBA, sports. You understand? So how you think it's all looking to me? It's a little bit too choreographed. But I'm still. I'm still like this.
Rashad McCants, like, yo, he. All right. One thing about Rashad McCants, he cannot wait to talk down on Bron. Like, if you ever watch this show, he loved talking down on Bron. So Stephen A. Smith going on his little monologue is making him, look how hard he's smiling. It's making him so happy to see somebody talk about LeBron in a negative way, just because he feels like he gotta, he be trying to carry Kobe on his back. Like, bro, people who love Bron also love Kobe, bro. But I don't know. It's like he feel like he gotta just defend him no matter what. So this Rashad McCants is loving that. But also what Stephen A is saying just about Ken Griffey Jr. and, everything they did for opening night, there was a production. They did go hard for opening night. Can't front. They did that. And the plan from there, he should have played in that game and then to the left, straight to the G League. But he did play a little bit more. They did try to throw him in there. And it's like, so you hear Stephen A say, people are kind of unwillingly going with it. I guess you can blame LeBron for that, but it's like, at some point, y'all got to do y'all job. If he belongs in the G League, just tell him to play in the G League. You don't got to, nobody forcing you to play him.
That one game right there is the moment. Now you got to go to the G League and earn your stripes. Instead,
I'm with that.
He's playing and playing and playing. And I'm getting stats. And he go against Philly. They put him in the first quarter. And Tyrese and them gave it to him. And then they plaster on SportsCenter 0.3 points, 0.3 rebounds, 0.4 assists, blah, blah, blah. And I said, damn. Why? Because I'm like, now I can't ignore it. Because how am I doing my job?
Okay, I get what he's saying. I 1000% understand what he's saying. It's still just kind of, I feel like he should have just left out the "I'm pleading with you as a father" line, right? Because it's like, you didn't go up there and say, JJ Redick, I'm pleading with you as a coach. Or Rob Pelinka, I'm pleading with you as a GM. Do not put this kid in the game. Keep him in the G League. You're pleading with LeBron James as a father because he used his influence to get his son a contract. I still stand on the side that LeBron James is not the one putting Bronny in the game. That is JJ Redick. After the game, JJ Redick said, our goal was to get him out there for some energy. I don't know why you chose the game against Tyrese Maxey for a little bench energy, but that's the game he chose. Tyrese Maxey had 40. Ain't no way Bronny should have been in that game in the first quarter. I repeat, Tyrese Maxey had 40. Bronny James should not have played. But Stephen A. Smith didn't go on TV and talk about the coaching decisions. He talked about LeBron as a father. So I understand why that would bother LeBron. And, Stephen A. Smith himself is even said that LeBron tried to reach out to him privately. And he thought he didn't like that. He didn't appreciate that LeBron reached out because of that. So the next step after that is, okay, when I see you at the game, I'm going to see you at the game. Right? So it kind of escalated. Now, from here on out, I'm pretty sure Stephen A won't have much to say about Bronny. Stephen A. Smith is probably going to chill out for a little bit. Since then, I've seen him say nothing but positive things about Bronny. So I feel like he's making it clear, listen, this has nothing to do with Bronny. He's a good kid. This is all about LeBron hyping up Bronny, putting him in a certain position, and getting upset when people comment on the position that he's in. After watching this, though, I understand what Stephen A. Smith is saying more, especially when he explains, like, look, I've been saying this over and over. That's not the first time I said this. And I get where he's coming from. It's just that one line. Just that one line. I'm pleading with you as a father. That's it. Other than that, everything Stephen A. Smith saying is factual. And LeBron getting upset over the father part, it is what it is. You can't get mad at how somebody reacts to you talking about their parenting skills. That's all. So let me know in the comments how y'all feel. Make sure you like and subscribe. We're trying to keep building this community. This is Watch&Learn Hoops Academy, man. I'll see y'all next time.